What's up, everybody, and welcome to ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news each and every day. I'm Drew Bosley, that's Scott Savage, and we got a lot to talk about today. Scott, what's on the show?
Today's show, we have PlayStation perhaps canceling Star Wars Kotor Remake. On the other hand, Max Payne remakes are a big deal, big projects there. 6 new games are coming for the PlayStation VR2 that have been confirmed, and Epic Games is the very next to make big layoffs.
Got topic number one, kind of hurts all the Star Wars fans as Sony hides trailer for Star Wars Kotor Remake and deletes announcement tweet. Tom Ivan over at VGC. Here we go, buddy. References to the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake have been taken offline by some of PlayStation's primary social media accounts amid a report of troubled development. Billed as collaboration between developer Asper Media and production partners Lucasfilm Games and Sony Interactive Entertainment, the game was announced as a timed PS5 console exclusive during a PlayStation Showcase event all the way back in September of 2021, Scott, just a couple years ago. However, it was recently noticed that the tweet from the main PlayStation Twitter account announcing the game has been deleted. That's troublesome. While the title's reveal trailer has been made private, Scott. Oh, dude, this is not a good sign. This has caused speculation that the game, which was also announced for PC and expected to be released on Xbox Series X and S at some point too, could be the latest casualty to restructuring efforts at Asper's parent company, Embracer Group. Strikes again. There's the underlying belly of it all. Embracer Group, man, that
really clarifies. Just that name alone kind of clarifies what the end result of this.
Dude, this game is canceled. I'm calling it right now. They're canceling this game, and it's all because of Embracer Group. Yo, you have Star Wars KOTOR, one of the most beloved Star Wars games probably of all time.
Yeah,
and you are butchering this. Whatever you're doing over there, Embracer Group. Once again, I'm just at this point, dude. I'm just getting frustrated with Embracer Group. They have laid off so many people. I understand that they missed the mark with getting their investment, but they clearly bought in way too fast and went over their head and sunk themselves, as well as other people in developments, right? All the studios. Crystal Dynamics got laid off. We got Gearbox getting laid off. Volition shut down. Dude, like, this is unheard of. Volition, 30 years for that studio to survive on its own. Gets tossed in with the Embracer Group. 1 year later, closed. That's a problem.
Embrace of Death Group. Have they done anything positive so far?
No.
Because I really do scratch my brain because it boggles the mind how many things get shut down now. I'm wondering if this is a symptom of more layoffs. Or perhaps a warning signal for more layoffs. It's not over with yet.
No, I think the writing's on the wall, right? I think the writing is on the wall. Eventually you will hear Embracer Group just shut down. I think is where it's heading, right? I get they're trying to restructure so they can manage what they have. But again, right, they bit off way too much. They can't handle what they have. They banked on getting this $2 billion investment, which never came to light. But then they were buying up all these studios before they had that investment. Why don't you get the investment first and then start diving in, right? Like, that's the whole idea behind it. And then games that they have made haven't done well. Ever heard of Gollum?
Oh, I almost forgot. You brought it back into my... Oh.
That sucks. Saber Interactive have done a bunch of titles that just haven't panned out for them. And it's just heartbreaking to see some of our beloved studios go over to Embracer Group and slowly get picked off, right? IDOS Montreal. Dude, where's Deus Ex? Right? Crystal Dynamics working on the next Tomb Raider. They got hit with layoffs. Again, granted, that was marketing, but still has me a little bit concerned moving forward with the rest of whatever Embracer Group is up to. Terrified. I'm terrified.
It's worth stating, though, it's not only Embracer Group that's caused this issue, but it is worldwide. There's an economic problem. I bring it up every time, but it's because that's the root cause. But seeing Embracer is not keeping things alive. It's not inspiring to anybody under Embracer.
No, there's a reason why we have so many indies, right? They want to be self-independent and work for themselves and not have to worry about the bigger operators telling them what to do, how to do it, and then get laid off. Like, that's the other side of it too, right? There's so much happening right now within our industry. We touched on it yesterday, but what a great year for gamers but what a horrible year for developers as just more and more get laid off. It's tough times right now to be a developer. There's no doubt about it. And I understand too, wanting to be under a big umbrella because that helps back the game, right? That's the idea, is that you want to come in and have that backing, have that support, and make sure you're able to make the game. At the end of the day, though, Embracer Group is just in some hot water right now and having some troubled times, which then leads into Star Wars Next Adventure here with the remake. And PlayStation is involved, right? Lucasfilm Games is involved. All of a sudden now, you think it's taken off of Twitter, trailer getting put to private. Dude, this does not look well bound to get anything here at all. What Sony needs to do, step in, grab this game, and give it over to Bluepoint. Calling it, dude, send it over to Bluepoint. I know they gotta be working on something because they've been quiet for like what feels like a decade at this point of whatever they're working on. But yo, I'm telling you, toss them this. Just give them this. We'll have a fantastic game. Everybody can rejoice and just smile once again. How hard is that, Sky?
That would be the good ending.
It sure would, man. I don't know. We'll see if we get there, though, but some troubled times once again with Embracer Group under the label.
Drew, in a topic that's much more positive, at least for myself, Remedy says its Max Payne remakes are a big project. This comes from Chris Scullion at VGC. In an interview with VGC, we asked Sam Lake about the remakes and how Remedy's initial announcement suggested it was going to be a significant undertaking. Lake replied that the project is indeed a large one, with a lot of work involved. Quote, "It is a significant undertaking in the sense that even if they are old games, just thinking about bringing them up to modern standards and combining them into one, you can see that it's a really big project," he explained. Upon being asked if he would be reprising his role as Max from the first game, Lake laughed. "No comment," quote, he said. Quote, "That's going too far." Is it though?
No.
Is it though?
You gotta have him back, right?
I think he has to be back, please. But Remedy announced back in April of 2022 that it had started work on remakes of the first two Max Payne games. The games will be sold together as a single package and will be released on Xbox Series consoles, PlayStation 5, and PC. Both games will use Remedy's Northlight game engine, which was used for Quantum Break and Control. I'm a huge fan of Control.
I like Quantum Break too, back in the day. That was cool too. I enjoyed that one.
Well, this inspires some confidence in me here. Remedy sold the rights to the Max Payne brand to Rockstar Games parent company Take-Two in 2002 for $34 million. It feels funny to laugh about how small that number is, doesn't it?
Yeah, kind of. Absolutely.
The Max Payne remakes have been made possible then due to an agreement between Remedy and Rockstar. Rockstar will fund the remake's development budget, which will, quote, "be in line with a typical Remedy AAA game production."
Nice.
And once Rockstar recoups its development, marketing, and other costs, Remedy then has the opportunity to earn royalties from subsequent game sales. I suspect there will be a lot of game sales. Even just yesterday, I just mentioned this off camera, my brother asked me about Max Payne, and I was very happy to tell him there is a remake on the way.
Yeah, this is pretty exciting. There's been a long time fan. Dude, I remember playing the originals back in the day. That bullet time, slow down, slow-mo mechanic was such a hook for everybody.
Oh, yeah.
We were blown away. I remember playing that and you just dive in. And then since then, obviously, it's been copied through I don't know how many games. But at the time, it was just mind-blowing and such a game changer to be able to slow down time, aim, and then just dive out of the way. Dude, so cool. Now to have them remade for the ground up, I'm definitely curious to see how they're going to fix the mechanics, right? The control scheme to today's standard is much different from way back when. Dude, when did the original release? Any idea? Like the 90s?
I believe it was 2001 and 2002.
Okay. So, yeah, here we go. 20 years later, right? That's right. Because they just announced the 20-year anniversary. So here we are, 20 years later, now getting a remake of those original games. This could introduce new fans, bring back old fans, and then what's that set up for a Max Payne 4?
Oh, yes, 3 was one I had zero experience with. I think I played the first one when I was 10 years old, so I'm first in line to get back as an old returning fan, and I can't imagine how is that game gonna play out in the modern era. It stands to be so good. At least I'm getting my hopes up. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself here, but I really hope they can modernize it into a brand new looking game. But imagine that one level. I hope they clean up that one blood trail level. Oh, it was brutal.
It's a bloody mess. Dude, it's to think of it being remade from the ground up has me really excited. But sometimes, dude, nostalgia is such a thing that you just don't want to tamper with it because you remember it so well from before and how much you loved it. And then you get it brought over and you're like, ooh, man, I did not want that. Hello, GTA Trilogy, right?
No.
So, some of those kind of come up and like, ew, that didn't pan out. Hopefully this one, though, being from the ground up, right? Maybe we get into that Mass Effect situation where we got the Mass Effect Enhanced Edition or Trilogy Edition, whatever.
Legendary.
Thank you, yes. So people will love that, right? Get new people in, lead that forward now for Mass Effect. And hopefully this is the future, hopefully, building for Max Payne. Again, granted, I wonder how much Remedy is like, man, we should never have sold Max Payne over to Rockstar.
Yeah, you have to be feeling it now, but 20 years later, no, it's time for a change, I think. And this game reminds me of Dead to Rights. You remember that one?
Yep, I do.
It was like Max Payne, but you had a dog with you. Oh, it was so good. I want that one to come back too.
So it sounds like there's still years out from getting this, though. That's the other thing, Scott. I don't think we're going to see this probably for another 3 years at least.
Oh, being that they're talking about it being a large undertaking, yeah, I would expect that to be quite a while away.
We'll see. But Remedy's next game, Alan Wake 2, is just around the corner, so we'll keep you posted.
Oh, I'm so excited for that.
Scott, I got some exciting news for PS VR2 fans. Sony reveals 6 new games coming to the platform. Very exciting, dude. Taylor Lyles over at IGN. Earlier today, Sony announced a handful of games on the way to the PlayStation VR2, posting these announcements on both the PlayStation blog and social media platform X, formerly known as Twitter. Man, that still stings a little bit, doesn't it?
Oh, it's so silly. Remember when you could say, oh, this guy tweeted something?
Yeah.
Well, now what do you say?
He X'd something? Like, I don't know. What does that mean?
It had brand recognition behind it. It's
what a fumble. Way to go, Mustard. But either way, Sony shared new details on 6 games that will be playable on its headset, with release dates varying from next month to next year. Here's the roundup. Scott, I want you to take note on something. I want to see if you spot something at all when I name off these titles. We get Among Us from Inner Sloth, Journey to Foundation from Architect Interactive, Heroes of Forever by Lucky Mountain Games. We get Tin Hearts by Rogue Sun, Tiger Blade by Trebuchet, The Foglands by Well Told Entertainment. Scott, have you picked up on anything alone on that?
No.
Let me explain it to you. There is not one first-party studio making any of these games. Not one. That is a concern for me. Dude, we talk about how they have 100 games in development, and granted, these games look like a ton of fun. I know Among Us is already out on Steam VR. To have it come over to my PS VR2 has me pretty excited. I'm looking forward to getting into that one. Journey to Foundation sounds awesome. Here's the rundown. Inspired by the Foundation novel series by the late American author Isaac Asimov, Journey to Foundation is an upcoming VR sci-fi RPG where players will explore uncharted regions of outer space. Players assume the role of an agent of a shadowy organization and become involved in a battle for, quote, control of humanity, end quote. This is coming out on October 26th. Dude, I want in. This thing looks cool. It looks vast. It looks big. It looks like a ton of fun. But again, third-party studio, right? This is where we kind of get into the worrisome future of PlayStation VR. But these games do look great. Dude, they look like a ton of fun here. Heroes of Forever looks pretty cool. Tin Hearts is this cartoony kind of game. Tiger Blade, hack and slash, looks pretty sick. I saw it drop yesterday. A slash and dash arcade game originally announced back in June. Tiger Blade developer Ekamosho Games announced that its next project is out on November 17th exclusively for PSVR 2. So here we are. We're into this action cinema style hack and slash with your VR, which sounds like a lot of fun. And then we get into an anti-Western roguelite with the Foglands from Well Told Entertainment. And that one looks pretty cool as well. Coming out on October 31st, just in time for Halloween.
Anti-Western.
Yeah,
I'm wondering what even is an anti-Western? It's like cowboys and aliens.
Yeah, kind of, right? Yeah. So dude, these games look like a lot of fun, but at the end of the day, when Jim Ryan announced, hey, PlayStation VR2 has 100 games in development, at this point, where are all these games? Where are the first party studios? Right? Horizon Call of the Mountain? That was it. Where's everybody else?
Yeah.
Where
was
is
that really
everybody?
the only one now? I'm trying to think. Was there? There's got to be something else out there.
Well, we have to be getting another Astrobot, I would think. So that'll be coming over at some point. Astrobot 2, Astrobot Playground 2, whatever they want to call that next journey in the world of VR. That was a fantastic, well-beloved game over on PlayStation VR 1. So when are we getting the sequel? And who else is bringing something over? Where's Insomniac, right?
Yeah.
Insomniac has done a lot of VR stuff in the past. That's the studio I would almost expect. But again, PlayStation doesn't go to the team and go, hey, you need to make this. Which is cool because then that allows the team to make whatever they want and we get fantastic games out of that. But then if they don't make anything for VR, what's that mean for the future of VR, Scott?
Yeah, I'm seeing a parallel here between this and Stadia. Unfortunately, have to bring that up, but just the still hurts. But the idea that there's third party, and it seems to be getting good support by third parties, at least by the looks of this list.
Yeah.
But where are the first parties that's going to really sustain the PlayStation VR 2? Is that going to last years and years, or is this really just a flash in the pan?
Well, we talk about it all the time, right? The battle between PlayStation and Xbox, and why you go to one platform over the other is for exclusives. So when you talk about the PlayStation VR 2, you have to ask, where are the exclusives? Where are the first-party titles, right? Those exclusives for Xbox are often the first-party studios. Same thing with PlayStation. That's why we're getting Spider-Man 2, right? Ghost of Tsushima, Horizon. Okay, great. Then where are those experiences for the PlayStation VR 2 to keep the longevity of this platform alive? Again, Shuhei Yoshida mentioned PlayStation VR 1 was their first PlayStation step into VR with a long roadmap of where to head next. So PlayStation 1 to PlayStation 2, that's where we're at. Is that going to be will we get a PSVR 3? I don't know, right? Time will tell. Consoles take off a lot differently than VR. If you haven't played VR, it's definitely a different experience. Sometimes it can hit you with motion sickness. Sometimes you just get an experience that's like none other. It is very cool to get in the world of VR.
Sometimes you just get tired from climbing in the climb too. You get real world tired. That's a fun experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Dude, I've played a lot of games where I'm sweating in my VR headset, which doesn't sound all that attractive for the next person to put my headset on, but just stay out of my headset then.
Hey, I was after Corey when we were playing Robo Recall.
Right? But those VR experiences, like a railgun shooter is a ton of fun, but we're looking for some more in-depth. And I thought Call of the Mountain really paid attention to that, giving us more of what we wanted from a first-party AAA experience when it comes to such a game like this, right? You can get into Gran Turismo 7. It's a bit of a weird, convoluted way in, but it's not made from the ground up. That's the thing. They gave you the base game, and then they give you the VR experience. So you're actually looking at the game on a window, and then you jump into the car. Yeah, that's the thing, right? So when it's made from the ground up, it's a completely different experience versus it's been tacked on. But once you get into the car, dude, you're in the cockpit of the car, and you're looking around. It's wow, very, very cool. Technology between 1 and 2, huge leap forward.
Oh, where's my Jet Fighter VR game?
Well, there's a bunch of stuff coming, right? So, but I need to know what else is coming, Scott. 100 games, where are they? This is only 6, and they're all third party. Again, dude, just makes me worried for the future of PSVR 2.
Unfortunately, more bad news along the same line here. We have Fortnite's maker Epic Games is cutting about 16% of its staff. This comes from Jason Schreier at Bloomberg. Epic Games Incorporated, the maker of the popular Fortnite video game, is laying off 870 employees as it seeks to rein in costs. Quote, "For a while now, we've been spending way more money than we earn," end quote, Chief Executive Officer Tim Sweeney wrote to employees in a memo seen by Bloomberg News. Quote, "I had long been optimistic that we could power through this transition without layoffs, but in retrospect, I see this was unrealistic." Quote ends, "The job cuts will affect about 16% of the workforce, according to people familiar with the matter, who ask not to be named. disclosing information that's not yet public. I would imagine that would require some defense.
Oh, yeah.
Epic didn't immediately reply to the request for comment. Sweeney said Epic's recent growth has been driven mostly by the company's Fortnite Creator Program, which allows players to build and sell their own content within the game. Excellent program, in my opinion.
Yep.
Epic gives 40% of revenue to the creators, providing what Sweeney calls, quote, a lower margin business, quote, than other revenue streams within Fortnite. Those previously established revenue streams, such as buying skins to personalize characters, had allowed the company to expand rapidly, Sweeney said. But today's lower profits can no longer support the company at its current size. Quote, success with the creator ecosystem is a great achievement, but it means a major structural change to our economics, he wrote. Based in Cary, North Carolina, Epic's Fortnite has more than 400 million users. The company also produces the Unreal Engine, a popular suite of technology that is used to develop video games. Sweeney wrote in an email that there are no more layoffs planned. He said an additional 250 people will leave Epic through 2 divestitures, the sale of music site Bandcamp, which Epic had acquired last year,
Weird
and
that
a
they're selling them
spin-off.
already.
Yeah, really. I guess there's no more concerts planned within Fortnite, which is maybe how I would save it, but I'm not being asked regardless. There are also the spin-off marketing company Super Awesome, which joined Epic in 2020. It appears that will be sold as well. About 2/3 of the job cuts at Epic were in teams outside of, quote, core development, Sweeney said. As in the broader tech industry, it's been a full year of layoffs across gaming companies big and small. Last month, the Swedish gaming conglomerate Embracer Group shut down Illinois-based Volition, maker of the Saints Row games. Pokemon Go maker Niantic Inc. announced in June that it is closing its Los Angeles game studio and canceling NBA and Marvel titles in a restructuring that eliminated 230 jobs, or about 25% of its staff. Epic is one of the biggest privately held video game companies in the world. Sweeney owns the majority of shares, while the Chinese conglomerate Tencent Holdings has a 40% stake. Employees who were affected by the job cuts will receive 6 months of severance and health insurance, as well as accelerated stock vesting. Which sounds like, a Band-Aid, really. Of course, the severance package means a lot to these people, don't get me wrong, but this is over 1,000 people that are being affected.
Dude, we have a couple games today, and one that kind of caught my eye, but I don't know if I'll actually play it.
Oh, interesting. We have Cocoon on the Xbox One, Series X and S, Switch, and PC. Cypher 007 is on iOS, and EA Sports FC 24 is on PlayStation 4, 5, Xbox One, XS, Switch, and PC.
And that'll wrap up today's show, everybody. Thank you for hanging out with us. As always, this has been ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news each and every day. We will be away next week. Again, just letting everybody know, next week we have a couple things that we're working on, but we'll be coming back with some pretty cool stuff to talk about. So stick around. Until then, I'm Drew, that's Scott.
And we'll see you inside the game.